Evening, everybody. It's 5:26, and it's Wednesday afternoon, the 27th, and this is your closing comment. It's video number 1382. Okay, so um, we had some not great numbers, but great results in the market, which is usually a very good sign. I mean, we had misses in Boeing, Microsoft, CMG, Google, Rio Tinto. I mean, all of these stocks had pretty ugly information in their reports, whether it was revenues or just forward guidance, and yet they took the market up really hard. I was actually pretty impressed with that, except that this afternoon um, I am watching some of the numbers from some of these other companies that actually moved the other way. Um, Teledyne, which beat, stock was 372, down 28 or 7% on the beat. KHC, Kraft Heinz, beat. The stock traded as low as 35.30 and closed 36.58, down 206 or 5.3%. Those were from this morning. Tonight, we had Teladoc, Qualcomm, Meta, ServiceNow, and Best Buy. Every single one of them missed, and the numbers were ugly. Teladoc, for example, had closed at 43.24, up 305 on the day before posting the number. And the last is 35.65, down 449 or 11.6%, and $8 off the close. Qualcomm, a beat top line, but revenues missed and guidance was lower. The stock had closed 153.42, up 345, and then traded down to 146. Last is 147, down 297, down 2%, and $6.50 off its close. Meta, Facebook, had closed 169.58, up 10.43. Immediately traded down to 162. Last is 162.43. That's up 3 on the day, but 7 below the close. Best Buy with a miss, same situation, 74.5, up 2.5. Last 72 and 3/4, up 74 cents, and $2.50 from the high. And ServiceNow, which closed 448.60, up 25.78, and immediately traded down to 403. Last on it is 421. That's down $1.82 on the day. And oh, by the way, $27 off its regular market close. So some of these things are a problem. I think the biggest problem there is probably Qualcomm, since Apple reports tomorrow, and Qualcomm does a lot of business in phone chips. Also, just a complete aside, I must have not been listening to the same press conference as everybody else, because what I heard um, Jay Powell say after discussing that they would do whatever need be to kill inflation, and that was very good. What I heard him say was they're going to step up, um, lightening up their balance sheet, which means they're going to be sellers of bonds. And that's going to shrink money supply. And frankly, when you look at what happened yesterday in the retailers, regardless of what happened today on durable goods, which was very positive, I think that's a huge negative. And it shows, especially in Best Buy, with a miss, because anybody who wants to buy uh, appliances, phones, computers, Best Buy has that all. and at discounts. So, for Best Buy to miss and warn and the stock to be lower, I think is kind of negative. I think that, M2 contracting is going to be a problem. In any event, it wasn't a problem for the market today, up 436. Advanced declines 5 to 1. The biggest mover, of course, was the NASDAQ, up 469 and change, over 4%, and advanced declines 3 to 1 there. Volume was a little heavier than yesterday, but 4.5 billion is not overwhelming, especially when you look at it in terms of a 4% gain in the index. S&P 102.56, 2.6%. The Russell 43.09, up 2.39%. And the transports up 232.87, or 1.7%. Oil was higher again. Gold was slightly higher. Along with the rest of the market, it looked like risk assets on. Bitcoin 22,780, up 1865. The dollar down on the day. The bonds up 5/8 of a point, and nat gas the only part of the energy sector that was actually lower on the day. Gas was up 7 cents. Heating oil up 12 cents at 364. Those are pretty big numbers. All right, everyone. I'm going to have a special report, I believe, over the weekend on Teva, TEVA. I mentioned it in the Discord room. It's definitely something you can look at. You should look at. Teva was a remarkable company. The high on the stock is about 72, and it had been split 2 to 1 and 3 to 1 3 or 4 times on the way up. They got in trouble on the opioid issue, and as of last night, had settled that. So I think that this is a phenomenal stock for the long term, and I'll write that report and I'll show you how we're going to play it. Have a good evening. I'll be back in the morning. Tomorrow's Thursday, so besides the Apple news after the close, it's claims day. Have a good evening.